Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB or Chris, and today we are going to do a head shave with the leaf. Don't run away yet just because it's a head shave video. I'm going to use the leaf, which is a favorite of Chris from Another Cut Above. First time ever using the Wet the Face soap. This one is the Quiet Man. This is Don Youngner's. I think it's Young. I hear people say Younger, but I think there's an N in it. Youngner. So this is a green Irish tweed type of scent. Scent out of the tub, strength a little light for me. It's about 3.5 to maybe 4, maybe. But it's a little light, but it's certainly there. And there's really no problems picking up. But it's a little light for my taste. But the cost on the soap is quite good. Right now it's on sale for $10.36, and it's a 4-ounce tub, so that is $2.59 PPO. Regular price is $12.95 or $3.23 per ounce, which is still a fair price. Again, I've never used a Wet the Face soap before. Of course, I'm familiar with Don Younger. He makes good YouTube videos. I'll put a link to his channel below, and he also makes soaps and aftershaves and so on. So we will use his soap for the first time today. We're using the Omega. This is the 10098 bore. I've been trying to rotate these bores in. A lot of times I'll do head shaves, off camera throughout the week. I shave my head every day, and I've been using these alternating bores to try to get them broken in. So I'm just going to continually use them and whip them into submission. Hope everyone is having a great day so far. I tell you, it's a little crazy with this, COVID-19 or coronavirus thing going around. People have lost their mind. And here in the U.S., and I'm in West Virginia, and there are 0 confirmed cases as of this date and time in West Virginia. 0 cases of anyone testing positive so far. So no one in the entire state has tested positive, and yet there has been a run on toilet paper. Like you can't find, now fortunately, we have toilet paper. We had a good amount, but if you needed it right now here in Charleston, West Virginia, you would be in trouble because it cannot be found. I went into a store earlier just to pick up a few things, and all the toilet paper completely gone, shelves empty, limits on water. And yet there's yet to be an individual in West Virginia to be diagnosed or test positive for corona. And people are it's embarrassing how much people are panicking. I think it's mostly driven by social media and maybe the news media to a certain extent. It's just, really, it's out of control already, and we've yet to even have anybody have the illness here, fortunately. Now, I'm sure it will make its way here, eventually, but people have already panicked because as soon as they see something like that on social media, they just go out and start buying everything in sight. And for some reason, this time it's toilet paper. Other times it's other things, but this time it's toilet paper. So I bowl lathered this Wet the Face, and it started out pretty foamy for me, so I'm unfamiliar with this soap, but we'll see how it performs. As long as I get a good shave, that's the main thing. Smells nice. Like I said, for me it's definitely under 5 on scent strength. So we're going to roll with the leaf razor today. Astra SP blades riding in there. This is, like I said before, if you watch Chris from Another Cut Above, this is his favorite head shaving razor. And I must say, I normally use carts, but when I shave my head with the DE, which these are 3 half double-edged razor blades in there. This has definitely been the most pleasant DE razor for me for head shaving to date. It's a lot easier to use, I find. It has that pivot, which helps. And, you know, like Chris said, it really is a good head shaving razor. Right now, I haven't used it enough to be as familiar with the razor on the dome as he is. And so I have not mastered, you know, that the way he has, because he uses it, I think, every day. But I will say that I've had good success with it so far relative to other DEs. I don't really like most DEs on my dome. They just don't work as well for me. I have to work a lot harder to get a close shave is really the issue. Like, I can get a good shave with them, but I have to be far more careful of cutting myself, and I have to work harder to get the same level of shave that I can easily obtain with a cart. And so, you know, I know everybody poo-poos carts all the time, but sometimes they work well. And, you know, when that happens, it is what it is. But this leaf, I think for head shaving is terrific. Like, I agree with Chris on that. It's terrific. And I don't mind it on the face either, to be completely honest with you. I think it does a good job on my face as well. And overall, it's just a good shaver. Unique design, it pivots. Now, I see that Broman razor is marketing itself as the first DE razor that pivots. Hello. Hello. The leaf has been around for a while, and I think it was first. So, you know. Now, I have got one of those Broman or whatever you call it on order. So we will see when it gets here, but I think that first pivoting thing belongs to the leaf, but, you know, we'll see. We'll let those two manufacturers battle it out on the, you know, on their marketing, but pretty sure that leaf and maybe even blue, I don't know, there's been some, I never tried the beluga, but do you remember? I think there was one called beluga or something like that. Maybe I'm getting the name wrong. Let me know below if you happen to remember that. I don't think that razor took off. I saw it on Mantic some years ago, so either it didn't take off or it didn't do well. I don't know what happened with that razor. Anyway, I wanted to mention also that I put some Stirling frost drops in the soap, and I'm now feeling it. I put about 3 to 4 drops in there. That's more, I think, than they say, but I saw DK putting some in his soap, and he put 2 or 3 drops in. It didn't do anything. So I said, well, I'll go a little bit beyond that. Now, I recommend that you follow whatever the artisans recommend when using any of these additives. And essentially, these are menthol drops. They're called frost drops. And you can put them on your brush or in your soap or aftershave and get a little bit of cooling, because this soap is not mentholated. So I just wanted to try it out and see how I liked it. And I am feeling a little bit of cooling, so I like that. So I haven't had any problems with the soap. The consistency on this for me, like I said, I bowl lathered it and it started out a little bit airy. And I did beat it into submission and get, you know, most of the air out of it. But I was a little worried because I was like, wow, what am I doing here? You know, maybe I'm not. Now, keep in mind, I'm extremely rusty with the boar brush, so that could have something to do with it. But I got it to, you know, work for me. But the consistency is still just slightly less creamy than normal. But again, I'm so unfamiliar with the soap and the brush too, that I won't pass judgment on it on that basis. Because if you've seen Don's videos, he manages to lather everything beautifully. And maybe in the next time I use one of his soaps, maybe I'll try his lathering method, whereas he takes his brush and he takes it out of a soak and puts the whole brush worth of water in his bowl rather than adding water gradually, which is sort of unique to him. His particular method, you know. He puts a lot of water in there right at the beginning rather than gradually adding, which most of us do or have been known to do. And so his method is a little bit different, I would say, but it works. And so maybe I'll try his method next time. But I've had no problems with the soap in terms of slickness or anything like that. It's just not quite as creamy, you know, during my first run here. But again, since I'm using this boar, you know, I'm not going to worry too much about that on this particular head shave. Because we mostly do our, you know, we evaluate products mostly during our face shaves because that allows me to get that face feeling. Actually, I can see it better and evaluate a little better. So for the head shaves, we usually just use things and just see how it goes, you know. Okay, probably could add a little water here. Probably one thing it's missing. So let's just add a little bit. Okay, that's enough. It's plenty enough to get a good shave. And that is the key. You want the amount of lather that gives you the slickness and protection that is required, but you don't want so much so that it becomes gummy, you know, and gums up your razor or causes you problems, because that can happen. You can get it so thick that it becomes an obstacle rather than an aid. Like when it's it can be a little on the thick side, but it has to be wet. And you can get it too thick and too dry, and then it become a problem. And it can actually inhibit your shave as opposed to helping it. So, you know, just be aware of that make sure your lather is actually slick and working for you. Just because it looks like a Santa Claus beard doesn't mean it's actually the best for you, depending on your situation. So just keep that in mind. So the residual slickness here is fine. There's no problem with it. I'm not having any performance issues. Just like I said, the consistency of my lather wasn't what I wanted it to be, at least at the beginning. So we're going to press on there. I haven't had any problems during the shave, so for whatever it's worth. By the way, the Stirling drops, I'm feeling them. It's nice, subtle cooling. And I think I meant to put 3 drops in, but I think I put about 4 in. And it has lasted for both passes here, you know, and the lather. So what I did was I put the drops in. I put the soap in the bowl. I just spread a little soap down the bottom bowl. Then I put the drops in. Then I made the lather. And I am feeling some cooling. I know DK said in his video that he wasn't getting any cooling, and he thought, you know, maybe his expectations for these products were too high, but it is working for me. So at the end of the video, I think he put it in his aftershave and it worked okay, but I think his initial couple of drops didn't work as expected. But my 4 drops seems to be hitting the spot and working pretty well. So take that for whatever it's worth. If you like menthol, you're just going to have to experiment. And I recommend starting where Stirling says to start with 2-3 drops, whatever it is. And then if that doesn't work, add another drop, you know, to your lather. But don't put it directly on your face or anything like that. You know, definitely follow their recommendations. I don't want anybody harming themselves or putting too much in and having a reaction. And their instructions are there to limit, you know, the possibility that somebody has a bad reaction. So obviously their instructions are going to be on the safe side generally, but that's where you should start. And the only reason that I actually went a little bit above what DK went was because another drop accidentally came out. And so I said, oh, well, you know. So mine was like 4 drops or maybe 4.5, but it worked. So I'm happy with it. Right now I'm just picking up these rough, hard to get areas. Little pickups as we call them. And there is enough residual slickness on this soap to hit those areas. Let's pull some of this out into our hand. And you can never see that in this light, but that doesn't actually look too bad. It actually came out okay after starting out a little lackluster on the lather. So we ended up doing okay with it. But at first I was thinking, it started out so airy that I was thinking, man, I'm gonna have to face lather this just to see, how it goes. Because I don't want to start off with a brand new soap and make the soap look bad because maybe I'm lathering it wrong or not adding enough water or something like that. I think every content creator, needs to be fair in their evaluation and try to lather the soap, the way it's meant to be lathered and just, try their best. Now that said, if you have to jump through a lot of hoops that are just not normal, and I don't think anybody's going to dig that, But I think we should try to use the products, if we're putting them out here for the world to see, at least try to make them work as designed without having to jump through, a lot of hoops. And I must tell you, Chris I don't know if Chris, if you see this video, please let me know if it's Maiden, because I think it's spelled M-A-D-E-N, or Madden. I've been saying Madden, but I might be wrong, because you know me, I got a lot of names and things wrong, and so I would like to get it right. And so Chris, if you're watching, comment below. Let me know if it's Maiden or Madden. I don't know. But either way, I agree with you that I'm having a hard time getting this area right here. Now, Chris was saying the other day you have to dig in a little bit, and maybe that's just it. You got to dig in. There we go. Now we're getting it. Okay. This right here is the most difficult spot for me right there. I have to come at it from so many different angles. It's super difficult to get. Let's see if we've got anything left. I think we've done pretty good. Wow, this right here. Let's go this way. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay. So let's rinse and then we'll get to the post. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back with the Thayer's Witch Hazel Magic, because it's made, of course, by witches. And that was a nice head shave. I am in 100% concurrence with Chris from Another Cut Above when he says this leaf razor is the best head shaving DE. Now, it may not be for you, but for me and for Chris, I agree. It is sort of like a cart in it that pivots, and you're not as prone to cut yourself. At least I'm not. It just works beautifully. It is definitely my favorite DE to shave my head with, without a question. Absolutely superb for head shaving. Okay, let us finish up. Well, let's talk a little bit about soap. Now, I was noticing when I was rinsing my head, it came off pretty easy. I didn't have a ton of that residual slickness sheen that I usually have. But in this case, I'm going to chalk it up to me and perhaps not a great lather. Like I said, it started off a little foamy, so I don't know, maybe something went wrong there. But it performed okay. I had no problems with it, but I noticed it didn't have that leftover residual slickness that I'm accustomed to. But at the price, we'll try it, or maybe we'll try another one. And next time we're going to face lather it, and maybe we'll do a video of face lathering it, because I want to give this soap a fair shake. Right now, the verdict is out for me. I think it is perfectly fine. I think it'll work fine for you, but I'm going to have to evaluate it further to really figure out the quality of the soap, because I just can't tell from this shave. It did what it was supposed to do, but I feel like my lathering on it might have contributed to it not having that super silky and residual slickness and all that kind of stuff. But it is available for a free price, a great price, not free, a great price, very well priced. And Don is, of course, a great guy. And here again is the card he puts in there. Wet the Face is the name if you're interested. We're going to close it out with the Quiet Man aftershave, and I did try this, and it's really nice. I enjoyed it. It had pretty good longevity. I think it was 15 bucks. And I will say that if you like, your sort of regular alcohol-based aftershaves. It's got a beautiful scent. It hung around for at least a couple hours, which I personally like. And so, smells great. If you like that green, that Creed Green Irish Tweed, I think it's called. Again, Wet the Face, called The Quiet Man. On sale right now for the soap, at least, is on sale right now for the St. Patrick's Day holiday. So check it out if you're interested. The leaf, terrific. Absolutely love it. The Omega 10098. I'm gonna have to work with it more. I don't think I knocked the lather out of the park on this video. The Stirling Frost Drops, big thumbs up, worked really well for me. I got some nice cooling in there without it being too overpowering. And for me, I think it had like 4 drops in there in my soap and it worked fine. We will revisit the Quiet Man and give you a verdict down the road. Right now, I've just marked me as undecided due to my own perhaps error with lathering. We'll face lather it next time and see how it goes. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Once again, I want to remind you that it's your shave, do it your way, and God bless.